dude. Long time no see. Been working your ass off, huh? Your chat rules make me sound awful. The whole crack your head like a Pepsi line was just like a rap that I wrote where, like, when I was a fun story, I guess. When I was a young man, I was hanging out on Battle.net, and me and my buddies were playing Diablo 2. We decided to make a band. We made an band, and we called that band Concrete Donkey. And so completely like out of the way, like completely like off the wall shit was what we wrote about. We wrote about like StarCraft and Diablo 2 and shit. But like I wrote a verse that goes, I crack your head like a can of Coke. I got the antidote for your antelope. Something, that way. Like it's take this off. There we go. The problem is when I take the noise gate completely off, you can hear everything. Like you can hear like my air conditioner turn on outside, hear the air conditioner in the hall. So crack your head like a can of Coke. I got the antidote for your cantaloupe. Spit. Crack your head like a can of Coke. I don't know. Bum, 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 bum. Can we see our boy Rocco? Rocco! You've been called. He's out there somewhere. I'm not a rhyme, like, I'm actually a rhyme spitter. Like, oh, here's Bailey. Like, did you guys catch, there was this thing called So Gone, which I got called out on back in the day on YouTube, right toward the end of my YouTube, like, career. Um, like that was the only time I've legitimately tried to rap. That and the intro to the podcast show. The other day you said you don't know who Delaware is, but then you alluded to him doing drugs on the streets. You know who he is. He's a huge fan of yours. Why not collab with him? I just recently learned about who he was, and I watched like a documentary called from like Danknet on Delaware, and that's my only information from him. And I'm taking that with a grain of salt because like everything I've ever seen from Wings historians was either wrong, skewed, or taken out of context. My favorite wrestler was always Macho Man. Macho Man Randy Savage. Motherfucker, why you care about if I buy fucking fast food? Your name is Reese Cup. Your Twitch name is Reese Cup. When they asked you what would your screen name like to be, only thing you could think about was Reese Cup. What's my stream schedule? I do not fucking have one. As far as I know, this stream could be like 30 minutes long. As far as I know, I just do it when I feel like doing it. What dinosaur has 500 teeth? Your mama's vagina. Excellent. Thank you for subscribing. This looks pre-recorded. Well, here, let me ban you just so you know it's not pre-recorded. Let's see. There we go. There you go. Now you know it's not pre-recorded. You think I fucking play around? I don't give a flying fuck about some dude that got gifted a sub that made his account like 34 days ago. A motherfucker can make a new account and somebody else will gift that sub an account too. I don't give a flying fuck. Mm-mm-mm. I want to point this out. You guys remember Matthew 35? He had to deal with what I deal with for less than 3 hours, and he deleted everything he had on the internet, his whole persona, out the window after 3 hours of dealing with what I deal with. I have thick skin. We're not even factoring in like having your former podcast come on and talk shit about you. We're not talking about people like Keemstar randomly wanting to jump in and talk crap about you. We're not talking about documentaries. We're not talking about people threatening to swat you. We're not talking about people trying to constantly get you audited by the IRS. We're not talking about people sending hookers to your house. We're not talking about people sending, people out to your house that randomly want to buy shit that you don't even have. In fact, all he got was the internet hate from fucking chat, and 3 hours of it, he's done, donezo. Hey, HDMI. I mean, like, what's the worst time someone pretended to sell something from your house? The fire pit. And I know this is going to get used against me, right? Because like this is something I shouldn't answer, but I'll answer anyway because people do it anyway, so it's not like it's going to fucking change anything. But the trolls offered that I had a fire pit for sale, and that one was the worst one because it attracted old people. Old ass people came to get that fucking fire pit, and they had no clue what the internet was. Every time you see a goddamn Buick roll in through my yard, I know I'm going to sit there and explain to a dude that's 67 years old that thinks rap music is noise, that I'm an online personality, and the people have my address because of years and years and years of me putting my personal life on the internet, right? And they never understand it. They never fucking understand it. Like some of them get mad. I don't know if you know about this, but old people get mad faster than any other type of person in the world. Because old people always think you're fucking them and that they deserve respect. Like, how the fuck you gonna get mad because you fell for some sucker shit and you came over to my house to get free shit and I don't even have that free shit to give you? Hey, I don't play anything Delaware plays. He plays on PC. Somebody came off with the big dolo, and hit us with $1. Wings of suspension. Said, "Here's $1, pimp." Oh, slow down there, Daddy Warbucks. You need to go ahead and save some of that gold bar for everybody else. Thank you, man. I played Apex. I played 3 matches of Apex. I won 2, and I quit. So, like, at this point in my life, I have a 66% win ratio on Apex Legends. Never played it again. Hey, thank you for the subscription, dude. I don't play. I don't. Here's the thing. Like the only battle royale I liked was Warzone, and even then, Warzone's kind of fucking stale at this point. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be playing Apex, man. Keep your money. That's up because of the way you've been handling the shitty jokes and trolls. You're a game and I lean into it. Is what it is, man. I try not to be here to conversate. You thought I was sub this whole time? What the fuck? It's that guy. Hey, it's you. The the best B motherfuckers out here got epilepsy. Crack their head like a Pepsi. That line needs work. Let me get a notepad out. Let's work on that line. All right, I'm dumb. I just wrote down Rainbow Six Diamond shine so bright I'll give you Rainbow Six Diamond shine so bright I'll give you epilepsy. Keep your head down or I'll crack it like a Pepsi. Big J starving for this victory. He knows nothing about hunger. See, I could like to me, I want to rhyme hunger with thunder or thunder. Hunger, like with Hunga, hunger. You know nothing about hunger, but motherfucker, keep on. I hit you with that fat thunder. Crescendo, I have your mom looking like a bimbo. I don't know. You can't see me because I shine like a big ass light. I don't think that's how bankruptcy works, jogging for justice, but I could be wrong. I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer in the slightest mean, but I think like when somebody files for bankruptcy, it doesn't go to the taxpayers. I think it just goes to the creditor, right? Like if you owed Circuit City $10,000 in credit card debt, and you filed for bankruptcy, and they cleared that credit card debt. I think Circuit City would have to do is they would be able to write that credit card debt off as a loss, but they would still have to eat a majority of the money or the lost product that they got, right? Because here's the thing with like credit card debt, for example, is a lot of the money that is credit card debt is actually agreed upon money. Like it's not really loss of product, right? Like say your product sells for $100, all right, and you sell that product to Bailey at 30% interest, right? So Bailey now owes you $130 for that product, right? Because she's paying 30% interest on that product. Then it's based on when does the interest compound? Does it compound weekly? Does it compound monthly? Does it compound, every year? All that depends, right? So whatever her principal is, the interest keeps compounding until you pay that off in full, right? But to say that the $30 that Bailey owes past the product is a loss, and to me, it's being disingenuous. And like people want to use like Phil's huge numbers, like 60% of Phil's debt is real estate, right? Which you could almost say real estate is good debt, right? If there is such a thing, house and land would be good debt because generally the money that you put in, you can generally get back out. But it also looks like you have a lot of debt when you have a house. If you go out and you put $20,000 down on a $170,000 house, you look like you have $150,000 worth of debt because you owe a bank $150,000 over a span of 15, possibly 30 years, right? And Phil owes like, I don't know, $300,000 worth of like home debt. The thing that is fucked up to me on Phil was he had like $140,000 worth of credit card debt. How the fuck do you do that? How do you get $140,000 worth of debt on credit cards? First off, let's think about this, right? Let's think about this. You have to get enough credit cards to have $140,000 to get in debt, right? To get in debt. So like all the credit cards, you got to have 10 plus credit cards with at least like $7,000 credit limit to even get into $140,000 worth of credit card debt, right? So you got to have a fuck ton of charge cards to even get there. And then at what point do you max out one card and go, I think the only answer to this is to max out another card. And then it just keeps going and going and going until you have 8, 9, 10 fucking high interest credit cards with debt. But let me tell you, I've charged 2 major things to a credit card in the last 10 years. 2. Uno, dos. 2. My wife's engagement ring, and I bought a big screen TV about 2 years ago. The big screen TV was about $1,200. My wife's wedding ring was about $1,000. Engagement ring. And I did that mainly to build credit, right? But even then, like, when I did that, there was no way I was going to be like, let's charge other things onto my card. It was like, let's get the debt paid down, and then if we need to use it again, we could use it again. And I think somebody said the WWF champions had bad pulls that month. Here's the thing with credit score. Granted, I'm trying to work on my credit score currently, but credit score isn't how good you are at paying bills. Credit score is how good you are at maintaining debt, right? Like it has nothing to do with your ability to pay bills, right? It has everything to do with you keeping debt on you, right? Because you get punished if an account closes, right? If you pay a card down and you don't charge on that card again, that company slowly lowers your credit limit and then shuts it down. This adversely affects your credit limit, your credit score, right? If you pay an auto loan off early, right? Say you have a 5-year auto loan and you want to pay it off in 2.5 years, you get punished for paying the loan off early. All right, 602. Oh, he's singing a song. Thank you, man, for the $26. So like there's so many things that being like a stand-up person and paying your debt down gets punished on like your Equifax or your FICO or your TransUnion scores, right? So like to get your TransUnion or your credit scores up to where you want them to be at, you have to adversely carry debt and buy shit you don't want. That's real talk for people out there that's young and maybe getting into credit and credit cards. Credit cards are almost always a no-go. Almost always a no-go, right? If you want to do credit cards, my suggestion with credit cards is this. 1, First couple cards you're going to get are going to be high interest rate. Use those cards to your advantage, right? You're going to have to pay to play, right? You're going to get like a $60 or even $100 annual fee. That's the fee for having the card, and they're going to put that on the credit card itself. They won't allow you to pay that annual fee with straight cash. They won't send you a bill on it. They're going to put it on your card. Why? Because if you make the minimum payment, that annual fee grows, and they make more money in the long run. But I digress. You could use that card to your advantage by paying the annual fee when you get it in cash, and putting stuff like your Netflix on it. As long as you pay it off every month and keep it a zero balance, that will help you build credit. Never get a credit card, max it out. No matter what you want, no matter how fly those shoes are, no matter how many PlayStation 5s you can buy, never do that. What Foot's off is saying, only use 29% of your credit. That's why I was talking about how credit, like if you pay your debt off, it actually hurts you because companies will drop your card. Let's say you have a Best Buy card, and a Best Buy card you have a $5,000 limit. Let's say you have an Ashley Furniture card, and it also has a $5,000 limit. All right. So you pay $300 at Ashley and you pay $700 at Best Buy. So you got a PlayStation 5 and you went and got like the cheapest recliner they possibly could have. So you have $1,000 of a $10,000 limit. So you're good. You're at 10% of your total spending allotment, right? So you could spend up to, $3,000 there and still be within your credit limit on those cards, right? And you would still be in the green. It's when you go beyond that 30%, that's what you call a debt to income ratio starts to skew, and it starts lowering your credit score. Right? So when you make really big purchases on a card, and like a lot of cards set you up for failure on this right away. Like what you never want to do when you're buying something is you never want to tell them what you're buying when you're getting it. You want to get the highest amount they're willing to give you on the card to help affect your credit scores, right? If you go like, hey, I want to buy this big screen TV for $1,200, and you're going to open a Best Buy card up, they're going to give you $1,500. Why? Because they want you to be stuck paying that, and they don't want you to run that card up, right? Because it's in their best interest. When if you said, just give me a Best Buy credit card, they might give you a $5,000 limit. Then you could buy that $1,200 TV, and it wouldn't fuck with you. It'd actually help your credit. Bailey, what are you doing? Be a good puppy. Be a good puppy. But for the most part, don't fuck with credit cards at all until you're older. Until you have a vast understanding of what you are as a person. I hate to say this, but you don't really grow up till you're 28. There's people in this chat that are nowhere close to 28. But as a dude that's been there and done that, I don't feel like until 25, 26, 27 when you start growing up. 28 is when you actually be like, something clicks. And it's like, okay, this is how society works. Bailey is consistently messing with the mic right now. That's why go over there, Bailey. Go in your bed. Go in your bed. Can you read the dono, please? Yes. My favorite Wing song. How are you, man in my phone? You play Rainbow Six all day long. No. How are you, man in my phone? You play Rainbow Six Siege all day when I'm home. Carry diamond you are, you shine so bright. You look like the sun, even in the middle of the night. And you've been going for 68 goddamn months. Let's go, you man. Bailey should get predatory loan for treats. Oh, we had a $10 worth of bits here by Fart Bag FPS. Big ups, Wings Mods. Pay to play, trolls you won't. Wings, have you seen Curse of the Dead Gods? It's a pretty fun game. No, I have not. What is that about? Skatery wings. I want to be. I'm going to be a dad next week. What should I name my daughter? Bailey. Name her Bailey. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Name your dog Kitty and your cat Doggy. I mean, like people ask me the same shit over and over again, but it's what I'm good. I'm good at what I like. I know how to buy cars. I know I'm getting into the point where I know how to deal with credit because like I made the mistake of trying to help family out. I'm gonna tell you this, right? And somebody told me this when I was a young man too, and I neglected it because sometimes you love people more than common sense will allow you to, right? Don't ever co-sign for family. Don't co-sign for family. Don't let family rent from you. Don't employ family. I've hit all three of them, right? Because family will shit on you faster than any other person on this fucking planet. If they short on the rent and you need to make that money too, maybe you counting on that rent money, family will short you faster than anybody else will. Because they go, oh, he's my family. He'll let it slide. Shit like that. When it comes to money and family, just say no. They might hate you to begin with, but your relationship and everything else will be better in the long run. Just tell them no. You ain't got no money. I ain't got $20, pimp. I know it sounds cold as fuck, but that's some of the best advice I can give. Well, you talking about the don't do anything with family? Yeah, I learned that one the hard way. Like right now, here's a fun fact. My credit score currently is a 270, not 270, 670. It's a 670, and at one point my credit score was like 815, right? And my score went from an 815 to like a 540 because I co-signed for a car. Yeah, it's not 270. It was a 670. And I've never missed a payment in my life other than that loan that on that truck I co-signed for. And I tried to catch that truck up. They wouldn't let me. You can't even make a Twitch account with a 270. There's people out there. There's people out there because I thought like 540 was a terrible credit score, right? There's people out there who are worse than 540, right? And like how? Not only is there people out there with worse scores than 540, there's people out there trying to buy shit on credit with less than 540 credit score. I was embarrassed as fuck to have a 540 credit score. Like there's two things in my life I hated, right? There was a period of about 8 months I had to be on unemployment. And the worst thing about unemployment for me was that they didn't have direct deposit at the time, and I had to go cash my unemployment check at the bank. And every girl at the fucking bank I went to school with. Every one of them. There was 3 tellers. All 3 of them I went to school with in my fucking class. So every time I had to cash my fucking unemployment check, I'd have to meet somebody and they know I'm a fucking bum. That's like, oh. I hated that shit, dog. And the second thing was when every time I bring my credit score up, I hate that. we don't have to put sub only on. I didn't see any reason to put sub only on. I don't know. I feel like a bum. I hated that period where like I mean, like the one high point is at least I made the maximum amount you were allowed to make on unemployment. That was the only saving grace. So at least they knew I used to have a good job. Unemployment fucking sucks, dog. Let me tell you this. I went from making like $1,100 a week to $327 a week, and like people act like you're supposed to like live like a king because they give you free money. And it's like, dog, I'm making a third of what I used to make because like unemployment checks are capped. I mean, like, what is three credit pools in one day? Like the last time when I financed my truck, they did like fucking 8 credit pools at one time, like from 8 different banks. But like, it only really took my shit down like 3 points. How many Pikachus I have? I have 3. I have the 2 like special edition Pikachus, and I have the one my grandfather won me at a carnival. What you looking at, Rocco? You look like you've seen some shit now. I'll tell you a good feeling that credit gave you, right? When I got my black F-150, that 2012, I think I have pictures of it. I know I have pictures of it. Let me pull the old photo album out here. Show these pictures off. Yep, there it is right there. There's my black F-150. Doop. It's pixelating a little bit. Cameras weren't that great back in the day. But I can still take a hell of a fucking car picture. But there's my black F-150. When I bought that truck, the Ford dealership didn't even give a fuck if I had a job. My credit score was so fucking good. They didn't care. They didn't ask me anything about a job. Like, and that make you feel good. Like you ain't got to put shit. You don't. Even, they didn't even give a fuck if I worked or not. You got an 815. Who cares? How much was that truck? I think that truck was 38,000. I think it was like 42,005, and they had some rebates, so it got down to like 38. And I got another 2,000 off of that, so I ended up paying like 36 for it. Here's everybody's favorite, the V6 Mustang. I miss that car. I honestly miss that car. I wish I'd never gotten rid of it. That's one of the most. That's actually one of my favorite cars I've ever owned. I wish I just repaired the back axle on it and just kept going. Because like if you look right there, I had the car clay barred, and I had ceramic coated it. I had the new Michelin's on it. I had the windows tinted right. That car was fucking sexy. That car was fucking sexy. The only thing I wanted to do with that car is I wanted to put the wing on it. Just get it again. I don't know where that car's at now. Don't even know where it's at. The whole no motherfucker. I've said this beforehand. Mustangs are pony cars. The term pony car came from the Mustang, right? The original Mustang, the one that rolled off the fucking lot, number one, was an inline six. Mustangs had two generations with four cylinders in them. Mustangs up to 2010 averaged 230 horsepower at the crank with less than 200 at the wheel. The year 2000 Mustang put out 235 horsepower, Creek, the V8 version. That V6 right there puts out 305. It didn't run me anything 670. I put it on myself. The kit itself was about $250, and I put the ceramic coating on myself. Yeah. Bailey, you a punk bitch. You really sitting here doing this? Bailey is chewing on like the adjustment knob of my microphone stand. Why are you being a punk bitch? Right. The Coyote V8 was like one of the very first like V8s with horsepower in the Mustang lineup out the rib. Yeah, there was like the Cobra Jet back in the 50s and 60s that put out 300 some horsepower. But most Mustangs never really put out horsepower. I got quoted $700 to ceramic coat the car, and I'm like, fuck that. I'll look up YouTube videos and do it myself. That's just fire though. Like if it gets dirty, you can just spray it with a water hose and it goes straight the fuck off. I did it mainly because I didn't want my racing stripe to start peeling, because my racing stripe was it was under the clear coat, but certain spots of the clear coat had started to degrade. So and then when I clay barred it and when I clay barred it and buffed it, the clear coat got thinner in spots, and some spots was up. So I'm like, I gotta basically protect this car. So like I put the ceramic coating on. Do I still want the Sunset controller? Fuck yes, I do. I don't even play the PS4 though. I guess there's no reason to have it. Is it bad to use dish swaps to clean your car? Depends on what dish soap and how gritty it is. Like generally, to perfectly wash your car, you don't want to use anything but a microfiber rag or maybe like a microfiber wash mitt, and you don't want to use that wash mitt twice, right? For example, every time your wash mitt comes off the car, you change to another wash mitt. This keeps you from using dirt and swirling the paint, because like using like rags and like dirty wash mitts will actually get those swirls in the paint. Like you'll see where people like rub and it'll put little scratches in the clear coat. And you got to buff those scratches out. What the best way to do it is actually use a wand and like spray the soap on with a wand. Let the soap eat away the dirt, and then use a very light like pressure wand to spray it off with water, and then use a microfiber towel and just use the weight of the towel to dry it. That's the best way to wash your car. That's what I was talking about, car foam. You put car foam or soap and you use a wand to spray it on, and then you can let it sit, let it eat away the dirt for a little bit. Then use like and use another wand to put like pressurized water to spray it off. You use the rain cleaning method. Or you could just be like, or you could just not give a fuck and take it through the car wash and let the brushes do it, and just scratch your shit all up. That, I mean, like that sounds bad, but like when you have a really shitty fucking car, there's perks to having a really shitty fucking car. It's like $5, $5 to $8 to clean your shit. You don't give a fuck where you park it. You can park it. You can get the closest park to Walmart every time, and don't care if anybody door dings you. Like there's benefits to having a shitty car. Here was my Roush F-150. I know y'all motherfuckers don't give two fucks and a shit. Now here's my Roush F-150 right here. I think that thing pushed 545 crank horsepower. It had over 400 horsepower to the wheel. That thing was sexy. That thing was sexy as fuck too. Had the custom tri-stone paint because his paint went from like a bright white in the sun to like a dark like mod white in the shadow. So like it like changed colors depending on how you looked at it, and it had the same paint in the wheels and everything. I really like that truck. Uh, that's only on this limited. They had custom smoked headlights and taillights on this truck. Here's Christine. This is the truck I own the longest. I owned this truck for 19 years. Yeah, two bucket meth is good too. Like as long as you're doing something to protect your coat, your paint, and your clear coat. Like this truck was at the point where it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, because I've taken it into the woods, and like you see, there's like cow shit on it right now. If you like look down here, like there's literally cow shit on the tires. Because I just got done driving it through a cow field here. Toyota Tundra's way better than that trash. I mean, like that's your opinion, honestly. What is this? What is this a picture of? Oh, this is when I was wiring up the stereo system. Bailey, death will consume you. I don't know why they're video form, but yeah. This is me wiring in the stereo system in the Mustang. Here's what everybody hates about the car. There's the V6. Everybody was mad about. But you know I take care of my shit because my motor fucking clean as hell. But as you can see, what ended up actually destroying this car was actually a deer. And you can see like right here, where this is called plastic welding. It actually destroyed this whole front end right here. And Mustangs are unibody, so so that's considered frame damage. So they get totaled out. And that's why it was a biohazard, because it had deer blood and stuff on it. Here is my black F-150. As you can see, there's orange tape on the top of the windshield. Like this is, I had a glass company come and put the F-150 Platinum windshield in my truck because it had better sound deadening. And that cost me like $80. So what they did is they came and took my old windshield out, busted it with a hammer, and put the Platinum one in. And I had to pay the difference. So that was cool. You the type of guy who pays for undercoating? No, I don't pay for undercoating. I don't even live in a place that needs to be undercoated. There's nothing wrong with a V6 Mustang, honestly. My next pony car might be a V6. Like, because the thing with a V6 Mustang is you get the Mustang looks. Hold up, boys. Can't break loose in a V6? Yeah. But honestly, the vast majority of the time you're driving, you're going to be driving at 60 miles an hour. 300 horsepower is more than enough for daily driving. Hey, Joey, can I get big ups to all the Northern Ireland boys, please? Big ups, Northern Ireland. I don't know if this is actually right or not. Because I'm almost certain that's a troll. Like, people are saying V8, V8, V8. My current truck has a V8 in it. And 672 will contest to this. With the stock exhaust, you can't fucking tell there's a V8 in it. It's not like a... And like most cars nowadays, they pipe their engine sound into the car with a headliner. Like that meaty growl that you're hearing out of your Mustang is fake. Right? It's piped in through like microphones in the headliner. BMW started doing that thing. A truck being heavy has nothing to do with the way it sounds. An engine sounds like an engine sounds. It doesn't matter how fast it goes. You know why that's different, Magic Art? Because car companies actually tune mufflers. like a like for example, like I know Mustangs have this new feature where like you can have your muffler quiet, sporty, or loud, stock, and they do that by changing oh, by changing the resonance chambers inside the muffler itself. We're just going to do it. We're doing just chatting right now. We're not doing rainbow today. How many turbos can you put on one engine? As many that'll fit. Honestly, I mean, there's a point where a block can't take the psi anymore. So like eventually there's like a point where like, oh, more turbos is not going to help. I mean, back in the day, before jet engines, planes in like the 1940s were pushing like 2,000 horsepower, and they did this with like these big ass superchargers that General Electric made, and like V16 engines. That's where the Hemi first came from. Hemispherical heads designed for fighter planes that had to work at high altitudes. Look it up. The more you know. And will I own an electric car or truck? Probably, maybe, at some point in my life. I'm not against the idea of having an electric car. It's not like I want to live on fossil fuel my whole life. I understand that being like 100% dependent on oil is a bad thing. And like people look at me like I'm not saying that depending on oil is a bad thing. Like they think that I want to continually have like internal combustion engines. That's not true. I'm just saying the current technology isn't good enough for a EV to live on its own. That's what I'm saying. Is a V12 the max engine for a car? No. There's Cadillacs that had V16s in them. I mean, like, there's race cars that have 4 cylinders in them. Like, what car company did it? I want to say it was a Zuzu. But there was a car company that raced a 30-liter inline 4. Let's see. It was Fiat, actually. It was Fiat. Fiat S72 was known as the Fiat 300 horsepower record, nicknamed the Beast of Turin. Car built in 1910 by Italian Fiat Company. It had a 28,353 cc displacement engine delivering 290 horsepower. So it's basically a 28-liter inline 4. It's a 28-liter 4-cylinder. Do with that what you will. What does Fiat stand for? I was always told it stood for "Fix It Again, Tony." Like just because, number of cylinders, it's all about how well you use the energy, right? There's a whole lot of thing that goes into horsepower and torque, and gas mileage for that. What about Ford? First on race day. Well, again, that all depends. Like there's so many variables that go into the engineering of an engine. Like it doesn't come down to simply more cylinders equal more power. If that was the case, people would be running V12s and everything, right? There'd be V12 Mustangs, V12 Camaros, right? There, like the new Corvette would have a V16 or something like that in it, right? But they don't, because there's a balance that's required. There is there's how efficient the engine can be. How heavy is the engine, because eventually the engine's weight actually becomes detrimental to the power output that it creates. What does a liter mean in car engine terms? Um, a liter is basically a measurement of volume of how big the block is. Like big blocks are like 427, right? So like a 427 is the cubic the cubics of the block itself, and then they'll have 7 liters. So it's 427 cubic inches, or it's 7 liters in volume. What V6 can beat a V8? Almost. I mean, like, do you not know what the Super is? Like, Super is legendary for having a twin turbo V6 that puts 1,000 horsepower to the ground. Yeah, the Super's an inline six, he was stating name a 6 cylinder that could beat an 8 cylinder. I mean, like it also depends on what platform you're sitting in, right? A 1993 F-150 is not beating a 2019 4-cylinder Camry, even though it's got 4 more cylinders, right? It doesn't work that way. There's power to weight ratio, there's engine efficiency, there's fuel delivery systems, there's aerodynamics that go into it, there's how well the transmission's mated to the actual engine itself. Like I always bring this up. Like one of like the Mazda Miata is the pound for pound king for power to weight ratio, right? There's a reason why people buy Miatas. Their horsepower numbers look like shit on paper. It's like, what, 190 horsepower? This is fucking trash. But the thing weighs nothing. It weighs nothing. So it's fun. It's not. Is it going to beat people in drag races? No, it's not. But you'll feel like you can, because because the transmission's so intimately mated to the engine, and it has such a smooth power delivery that you constantly feel like you're getting pushed in your back of your seat while you're driving. And that's the feeling you want. I've always said that people don't know that horsepower means nothing and torque means everything. Torque is where the fun's at. See a fart bag? Torque. 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 Because horsepowers aren't all built the same, honestly. My truck puts out 355 horsepower. My wife's car puts out 300 horsepower. Could my truck beat it in a race? No, sir. My truck would be took straight to Gapplebee's, and I would be served lemon tea. And it's also, where does that 355 horsepower come into? right? Hey, Rocco. Any thoughts on YouTube Patreon? Nah, man, I ain't doing a Patreon. I feel like, honestly, I would fuck a Patreon up to the point that it would just be a controversy. I'd rather not make Patreon money than go through that. What's Kelly driving? Kelly drives a 2021 Ford Explorer XLT. They have an entire video on it. We can actually watch her video on it. So let's watch Kelly's video on her car. Kel the Southern Belle, which we haven't stopped uploading. We've just been really busy. This is Kelly's car. By the way, my wife is doing excellent on her diet. My wife has lost 23 pounds since we got married. That's actually we were actually going to take that monitor back today. Like that was my 120 FPS monitor that wouldn't work with the PS5. How did Kelly afford that? Kelly makes good money. I did get her those mats. Hey, SA. Here's another $5 pimp. They called a pay pig the other day for supporting my big pimp. Insulting the true trolls, insulting your viewers now. They gotta hate. I actually really like this car. Like, this car is comfortable as hell. And, like, it's fast, it's fun. Like, it's not as fast as my black Mustang, but it's got the same engine my black Mustang had in it. And, like, the torque is done right on these EcoBoosts. Like, I really enjoy that Explorer. That's a comfortable fucking car. And I tell you what, this car has that I didn't know I ever wanted. This car has heated steering wheel, and like that heated steering wheel is nice. This is actually a third row SUV. Like there's actually this truck actually sits seven, but the third row is actually down because we use it for like cargo and stuff. Yeah, my truck doesn't have a heated steering wheel. This is the 2.3 liter EcoBoost with the twin scroll turbo. That's an overflow. You think your lawnmower is a bigger engine? Dog, if you want to diss that 2.3 EcoBoost, drive one. Like, honestly, just go fucking drive one. They are fucking fun. Could you not hear the audio? she was basically saying like, because people were accusing me of buying the car, which I don't. Like, I didn't finance that car. Everything is on her. Like, she had a deer hit the side of her Camry, and she didn't like the Camry. She got it because of insurance reasons. And since she's on my insurance now, and my insurance is fucking platinum level, like it, she can afford to pay insurance on her Explorer now. Because she was in a situation where her insurance was more than her car payment, right? She had like a 2019 Camry, and she was paying like $300 a month for that, and she was paying another $400 for car insurance. So when she got on my insurance, her deductible for 6 months went from like $2,400 down to $480, full coverage, because I have an impeccable driving record. She's gotten into a lot of accidents. Deers be driving. I just live in an area that's very heavy in deer, and like we both hit a deer during deer mating season. Deers mate toward the end of fall, beginning of winter, and we both got one this year. It sucks, but it happened, right? It's not so much deer hate us, dude. Like when deer are mating, they move around a lot at night. So like late at night, early mornings, deer are everywhere on the road. Like the deer I hit with my truck, no way I could have avoided it. Because I was only going 55 miles an hour with cruise control on. And I slammed on brakes the second I seen him jump the ditch. But he still got me in the driver's side. I still hit him about 35, 40 miles an hour. Because like there's deer everywhere. I hit a deer on a main road. Like the road I hit a deer on is a 3 lane highway, so 6 lanes. There's three here, three here. There was 6 lanes in total, and I was the only car on it. He basically ran into me. Dog, I thought about taking a picture of my deer because my deer is still where I left it at, and it's fucking mangled right now. Like it is destroyed from like people running it over and shit like that. But I'm like, nah, that's fucking creepy. Because people keep making fun of the deer I killed. The road I live off is a highway, but this was a main. This is a US 378. Yeah, it's still there. Ain't nobody pick shit up here. I live in a Republican state, dude. There is no money for people to pick carcasses up off the road. What happens is other people run over the shit too, and eventually its corpse goes into the ditch, and then vultures eat it. I did report. I mean, how do you like? I reported it to the highway patrol. They just didn't do anything about it. Yeah, I'm gonna sit there and move a 100 pound deer off the road. Fuck that dude. Fuck that deer. I was pissed off that he's fucked my truck up. Hey baby, hey baby. Is my vehicle okay? Yeah, my vehicle's fine, dog. I got it back already. 59 months. Woo woo. Do I think the deer... Dude, no. No, motherfucker. I'm surprised you don't understand how to breathe correctly. This motherfucker really asked me, do I think the deer would survive if I was lighter? Like I'd lost some fucking weight. Do you not realize my truck weighs like 5,500 pounds? Without me in it. Anything it hits at 40 miles an hour, it's going to kill. I could have hit a fucking elephant at that speed. Most likely would have killed it. Is Rocco still alive? Yeah, he's right here. All the babies are here right now. Bailey's upset. Yeah, elephants are fucking big. What are you doing, Bailey? You getting mad at Daddy? What's wrong? What's wrong? Yeah, Bailey's angry. And she wants to get back up right now too. That's the funny part. I think I like pulled her hair a little bit, like with my fan. And she could have been angry at the cats too. Who knows? Come here, Gray. Come here, Gray. We're going to love you instead of Bailey right now, Grayson. Don't come up here and put your butt in my face now. I ain't trying to get no cat butt in my face. I love my kitties. I think my Pikachu dolls are breeding. Why did I delete my YouTube channel? I haven't deleted it. I actually, my YouTube channel is just private. Let's watch this video. How do we play it? Here it is. I was just so fed up with Modern Warfare 3 that day. Moab! Let's watch 61,000. Was it 62,000? There it is, 61,000. Office space disparity. Here's the shotgun I used to have in the background. Alright, I forgot this had music in it, so we're not going to play the music. We're just going to watch the video. This is my buddy Stan. Y'all probably know more as FPS Hillbilly. Like he's a guy I met through YouTube. He used to follow my videos and everything. We lived kind of close to each other. He became one of my best friends for a long period of time. He actually looks really good here. This is Pretty Boy Kelly. Everybody knows him as Zord Base Commander now. And like I look fucked up in this video because like I was supposed to have a jacket like Stan, but the jacket didn't fit and I didn't have time to go get another one, so I just walked without the jacket. So like that's why I look like a big fucking cat, like the Michelin Man had like, you know, fucking bloat flies or some shit like that. So we were grabbing the shotguns out. We were supposed to have 3 shotguns as well, so like I ended up having to get the assault rifle. Like we're trying to choreograph it. It could have been smoother, but we were doing this on like really quickly. And like we ended up having like the long takes just for like comic relief, kind of like the old silent films. My shirt's actually inside out. Coming, if I'm looking at noticing it, my shirt's actually inside out at this point. Like the foundation of this video was like this monitor was the one that I had on my I used forever on YouTube. Like it was a I don't even know what kind of monitor it was, but I calculated I had used it for 61,000 hours, and I wanted to give it a proper like destruction video. Seven years, 61,000 hours. Here's your retirement. Cum dodging is an unacceptable behavior because I understand it's okay if you don't want to get a face shot blasted full of jizz. Understandable. Don't give me the impression you're willing to take a face blasted full of jizz and then take it away from me from at the point of climax. Oh, I love those old screenshots of like my quotes. Oh, what's another video? Hey, gray baby. Oh, my goody booty cat. Old YouTube was hella tacky. Yeah, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing back in old YouTube. Trying to think of another video I'd want to do. The Bean Boozled video. Nah, we're not doing that one. What was my biggest beard? I used to have a fucking beard and a half. Oh, Scout Sniper videos. Hey, let's do that. Which one has the most views? This one technically has the most views. Scout Sniper 3. No, this one does. Scout Sniper 5. Because it got to one where I called out the optic guys, and they couldn't do my challenge, which was basically get a nuke without stopping power. Like this video, for example. This video is M14 with Cold Blooded. This is back, like, Persona Gaming was a complete fucking bullshit thing. Like, we signed up for Persona Gaming. We were promised all this fucking money and shit, and like sponsorships and shit like that. We never got any of that. You're not muted now. Listen to how I sound. I had no commentary ability back then. Listen to that. You can hear sound. Like it's showing that sound's coming through. Hold up. Go down. Can you hear it now? I'm getting yeses and nos. Like, I don't know how to fix this, because like it's on my screen says it's happening. We'll just take the sound off of it. Basically, what I was talking about is like using Cold Blooded to basically dial your aim in for the session. Like, what I would always do when I played Modern Warfare 2 is I'd play the first 2 or 3 games without stopping power, and I basically would dial my aim in doing that. And like when I wanted to snipe, I'd always use the M14 with Cold Blooded, because the M14 only one shots in the head, so you got to hit every shot in the head. So like you'll notice almost every hit I boo here is going to be a headshot. Like I honestly I still like videos like this. I never moved on. Like if somebody was making like legitimate content based on like getting better at the fucking game, I'd still watch that shit. Like that's what I like to watch. Like I don't like when I started disliking YouTube and I just did it for money, it got to being like talking about what flavor ice cream that you ate today, or like things of that nature. Like that content kind of fell stagnant. All right. You get one person, this map was great. Somebody's like, this map is terrible. Like there's things I did so much better back in the day, like constantly keeping cover. Like I don't do that anymore. Did I ever post any Souls content? A little bit, but I never did a full run through. I've always wanted to do a Dark Souls Let's Play, but I have a feeling that it's not going to get very good. It won't go over very well. Like I even have the fucking intro basically memorized. Oh, I just killed a guy named Wingnut. I miss games like Modern Warfare 2. No, I was actually miserable during Modern Warfare 2. Like perfectly honest, I was low key miserable. Like it got to the point where it was like there was noob tubing and the YouTube drama and like the whole Hutch thing was popping off and like I was trying not to talk about any of the Hutch thing and like I had lots of hate. Like my whole career I've gotten some form of hate and like it's always sucked. It's always sucked. Hutch was a guy that was like one of the bigger commentators back in the day. He and like I made a video stating that you shouldn't listen to any of the advice that Hutch was giving for sniping because his advice is really fast and loose and it doesn't work. It's not consistent. Because I was always a person that would kind of like hammer on like you should be consistent with your gameplay, and like I always tried to put a style out that anybody could do that you could consistently do well. Remember back in the day when they didn't have skill based matchmaking? I want to point this out. There's no skill based matchmaking in this lobby. This is what the lobbies were like. Hey, Fazos, thanks for subscribing. Because like people were like, you used to be so much better at Call of Duty, Wings. You used to be so much better at Call of Duty. No, I wasn't. Look at me playing right now. I was fucking dog shit. I would beat the snot out of my old self right now. Like everything I do is better now. But the fact is, they put you in lobbies full of people that do nothing but play the game like you. Hey, Michael Merchant. Oh, PS3 lobbies? Don't even come up with that bullshit. I got tired of that doing that shit too. Like people would talk about, oh, you play on PS3. You suck because you play on PS3. And it's like really, I went and bought an Xbox and I started doming on people on Xbox too. What console you play on doesn't determine how well you play. Like there was all kinds of theories back in the day, like people got to pay for Xbox Live, so they're gonna try to play better. No, the fuck they don't. You get cussed out and have a little kid fuck your mom on Xbox Live just as quick as PlayStation Network, dog. Let's grab a Wasteland one. Like, I want to go one with the Walther 2000 where I'm not trying to go for headshots. Let's see, Barrett. I'm a scout sniper. What was this? What was this? Oh, this is. I loved my helicopter videos. Oh, this is me in Blame Truth and Gangsta Hebrew. Playing fucking Bad Company 2. Now that brings back memories. I don't even know what's going on here. Taking a shit like it was some haters. Oh yeah, this is me running over a hill full of fucking snipers. Look. I've killed a whole group of snipers. Oh. It's going back fucking down memory lane here, motherfuckers. Did I not have one? With the Walther? I used the Walther 2000 all the time. I think this is one where I actually used, because this is the idea of the series, to use the generic class, the Scout Sniper class, the Scrambler and everything, for the entire series. I haven't heard the name Gangsta Hebrew in forever. That was like BT's like best friend back in the day on like Xbox Live. Boom! Headshot! Hey, West Berserking Gamers, thank you for gifting the 2 gifted subs. How did I meet BG? I added him randomly when I was looking for Rainbow Six players. Hey, Raven Guy. Fun fact, with the Barrett, the Walther 2000, and the Intervention, anything that was chest level was a one-shot kill. So as long as you had good aim, you didn't really need to headshot, even without stopping power. Low key, hey brother, I got wrongfully banned for chat. Been watching for years. I got you, bud. There we go. This is probably still my favorite map in Call of Duty history. I love Wasteland. Oh, and I didn't get the fucking Harrier. You had your first and only nuke on Wasteland, dude. If I cleared out how many nukes, I quit running the nuke for a long time, but I still probably had 300 plus on Modern Warfare 2. Because like, would you understand? Like, you'll constantly see like 5 headshots, 5 headshots, 5 headshots. It's like, I want the care package. It's a fucking Pablo. It's Pablo. Oh, Pablo to Pablo. I don't remember the Wasteland wall glitch, no. What's my least favorite Modern Warfare 2 map? Karachi. There was never a time I was playing Karachi that I was enjoying myself. What was my favorite gun in Modern Warfare 2? Probably the Walther 2000. Either the Walther 2000 or the ACR. I actually like Derail a little bit. At first, I didn't like the original Call of Duty 4 remake, but as I played it more and more, it was probably my favorite Call of Duty. After I got shitted there with that one shot kill because it actually did penetration damage. This right here is something I still do to the day. You know, crouch up and down while sniping. I still like the DualShock 3 better than both of the PS4 and PS5 controller. I still got my DualShock 3. This is my only one I have left working, which happens to be the fucking pink one, right? It was the pink one that stayed working. This one's been a tank. I've had this shit for almost a decade. Battery's still good. It still lasts 6 fucking months in between charges. Like, I was sort of thinking, like, I should probably get another DualShock 4, a DualShock 3, because, like, I still play my PS3. Like, I still play Final Fantasy Tactics. I still play Dragon Age Origins on it. And things like that. So, like, I still have some games I play on my PS3. So I should probably get another controller eventually. Not to mention the PS3 has the best Bluetooth, best like DVD remote out of all of them. I don't like the PS5 controller either. It's supposed to be like a revolutionary feature. I think it's a step back from the DS4, from the DualShock 4. DualShock 4 is better, in my opinion, in every way from the PS5 controller. It has a bunch of gimmicky shit that I don't care about. Like, I don't give a fuck about haptic feedback or making the triggers feel harder to pull and shit like that. The problem with the DualShock 3 is people counterfeit them so well that it looks like a Sony product. So if you want an OEM controller, good fucking luck. You'll get something that looks like an OEM controller with like third-party quality. There's no way I can play Modern Warfare 2 again without playing it on PC. I don't have an Xbox, and my PS3, I don't have a capture card capable of capturing because PS3 has HDMI protection that they've never patched out. So, yeah. We're just chilling out talking. I got small ass hands. Like, to give you an idea, like an iPhone 12 is bigger than my hand. Like this, the iPhone 12 Max. It's my hand's about the same size of an iPhone 12 Max. You wish you had an iPhone? Shit, all it takes is money, dog. Like I pay like $16 a month to have the newest iPhone. It ain't that much. My microphone. Oh, I did turn my microphone down a little bit. I actually didn't want the Max. Like I wanted the regular iPhone 12 Pro, but when I went to upgrade, they had sold out all the iPhone 12 Pros, and they only had the Pro Max. So I'm like, fuck it, give me the Pro Max. Come here, little dog. You gonna get mad at me again? Can't make Daddy look bad. Shit. My wife has the 11 Pro Max, and they're basically the same phone. Like the only thing this does different than my wife's phone is this takes better pictures in the dark. That's the only difference. Like there's very little difference between this and my wife's phone. Like I know my wife has like the Bionic A12 chip, and I have the A14, but you can't really fucking tell. Like they're both fast. Can Bailey actually see that is? Fun story, right? We got to get Bailey's haircut, but Bailey didn't recognize me because I was sleeping, and she knew I was sleeping, and my wife was in the bathroom, and she didn't see me get up, so I walked to the laundry room, and I was coming back from the laundry room into the kitchen, and Bailey was in the kitchen, and she thought I was an intruder because she didn't know who I was because she couldn't fucking see. I was like, oh, poor baby, poor baby, my little girl can't see. Why don't I cut it myself? I mean, dog. First off, have you seen my hair? I'm not a hairdresser. Hey, Timo! Thank you for the 17 months, dude. There's fatness right there. He's standing up. He does this every time we're like the last 20 seconds of rank. Rocco will stand up. You gotta go poo poo, bud. Go take you a stinky. Like we have hair bows. Like we're gonna like take her hair, pull the hair back, and like put it in a bow, so she have her like a little girl bow. But you know, shit happens. We've been working a lot. Who's a good girl? Who the best girl? You baby, the best girl? Wings of Cringe got him. Is Pikachu my favorite Pokemon? No, he is not. I liked Pikachu. Like he was in my top 5, but that was mainly because of the cartoon. Like I thought he was adorable. Like, Pika Pika. Oh damn, Timo got a founder fucking thing there. Let's go, Timo. My favorite Pokemon is actually Blastoise. and my second was Snorlax. Pokemon stream win. Dude, I have no way of getting, like, I don't have, I guess I got a Switch. Is there a Pokemon game on the Switch? Because the only game I want to play on the Switch is that fucking new Final Fantasy Tactics game that Square's coming out with. John, did you donate? John, oh, Don, donations have to be $5 more to appear. Can I get a biggest pimp you've ever done? Like, pimp! I guess that's the loudest I can do it. I wonder if I can get like one of the Pokemons I've wanted to play was like Ruby Red or Emerald Green, like which is basically like remastered of the games I played when I was a kid. Because I played Pokemon on the monochromatic Game Boy, you know, like the fucking big ass Game Boy with the green ass screen. I remember like having to. I remember sitting back in my grandma's fucking Ford LTD, and we and like to see the screen you'd have to like we'd have to like play inside of our hoodie. So we'd like put our hoodie up and like get inside of our hoodie and play the fucking thing to just be able to play Pokemon. Because if the sun shined on it, you couldn't see shit. Is it fire red? Yeah, but I played me because I had the blue Pokemon and my brother had the red Pokemon, and we had the little cable, and we could so like we both got to collect all 151, I think it is 151, and we did that by like switching trading Pokemon to each other. Yeah, there's a rule on Twitch that you're not allowed to emulate, and like I know most people can do that and get away with it, but like I can't do that because of my trolls would report me every time they realized it. So I have to follow the rules to a T. Because like Twitch can't back emulation on their platform because it's considered theft. I'm wondering if like Fire Red is on like the Switch store. Like if that's the case, I could totally go get the Switch and play Fire Red because I got my Switch controller thing right here. It's got my wife's Animal Crossing shit on it, but we could fucking rock the Animal Crossing controller base. I don't give a fuck. No, it's not on Switch. Why is the fuck that not on Switch? Like honestly. Because that's a closet door. That's a closet. It's not an actual door. My favorite Oasis song? Wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. 'Cause I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word on the street that the fire in your heart is out. Yeah, I can't sing. Well, at least I can't sing like that way. Cause I can always go. It's in. Oh, first, lyrical in its painful return. Mariner recall against my will. A word spread. A miraculous skill. Revolution is my name. I'll be down in a hole and chain. That was so fucking bad just now. You know, like emo music. Where's Bailey? I did see the video where you put the I forgot what song I was doing, but I was doing some kind of metal song. From the eons of the world into the tower of the fall, to the doors of the breaks cassettet. Lie. I've come from the stars. Into the eons of the black holes, into the wars and the horns among the stars. I will know that I can destroy you. I had this. I used to have a band called Fetus a Fetus. So you say it fast, so it sounds real cool. It's like Fetus a Fetus. You know, it's the new hit song by your band Fetus a Fetus. I had a song called The Brine Hammer, and like that was our hard song, The Brine Hammer. Yeah, feed us a fetus. Yeah, feed us a fetus. I'm officially destroyed. Until the waves, until the sunder, until the thine, let go the thunder. Yeah, it might have sounded like I was mumbling, but there's actually words there too. You refunded that shit. Would you ever get that set back to Sekiro? You never finished that game? I'm actually on the Sword Saint. I've just never got back into it. Yeah. That was the band. I didn't like Sekiro either, honestly. Like, it was fun enough. I mean, like, in my opinion, the most fun I had with the game was facing the big monkey. I don't know what his name was. The headless monkey boss. The Guardian Ape is what he's called. The Guardian Ape. Guardian 8 was. I died my fucking ass off the first time I faced him, but he was at least enjoyable to fight.
Holy One, unsung you all the scum of his philosophy. Can't you see that God is the enemy? Step across the line and divide it was the mean path, moving for the bullshit, the final blade of bleeding grass. What you say about your Lord don't mean a chin to me. I'll bash your fucking head in with the book of his insanity. Your Lord is dead. Jesus, where have you gone? Sleeping in me, thinking you are his son. Beware, your death is less you've ever done. Killing yourself, for God is your friend. You are not a friend of mine.
I always thought those lyrics were fucking tight as hell, though. I always thought that song would go really well with like a lounge singing. By the way, that's Deicide's Bible Basher. And I always thought a lounge cover of that song would do well because like the lyrics are, "Holy One unsung, you are the scum of his philosophy. Can't you see that God, he is the enemy? Catch across the line in the divine and twisted beaten path, spewing forth his bullshit in his final fatal bleeding grasp. What you gotta say about your Lord don't mean a thing to me. I'll bash your fucking head in with a book of his insanity." Like I always felt like somebody lounge singing that song would be fucking funny as hell. I'm sure that trolls are going to clip that. But to be clear, this is not going to make it into the clip, but that's a song by a rock band. I actually don't worship Satan. Let's see, like Kelly's parents know I don't believe. Like I'm an atheist, but they also know I don't believe in Satan either. Because like I always thought like people that worship Satan were way dumber, right? Like most people worship Satan as like, you know, coincidental. Like they do it in a way that's like, hey Kelly, they do it in a way that's like, oh, we're doing this to kind of like equality of religion. Because who would believe in Satan if you don't believe in like Jesus, right? Because for Satan to exist, Jesus has to exist, right? So your whole religion like hinges on another religion being true.
I'm gonna be very nice right now. Can you not talk religion today? Because I cannot deal.
There's a terrible clip most likely coming.
Oh, thanks.
Bailey, you're all called up here. Mm-mm-mm. Kelly just had a bad day. It's been a bad day for Kelly. I think I'll end it there, boys. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you 672 for the $26. Appreciate it. Thank you Low Key for the 5. Thank you John. Thank you Control Alt Deceit for wanting to kick the door down forever. Thank you SA. Thank you Toxic. Thank you Halo Reach. Thank you ATW. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Thank you Jogging for Justice. Wings of Suspension. Thank you Jerry for the $10. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm 95,000.